it's Baby Pine. Today I just need to talk about some things, why I've been, not doing YouTube for the past 7 months. So, my bad, this might be a long video, it probably won't be very long though. It's more of a response video, so I'll offer you some context in a second, but for now my mom is outside cutting the grass because it gives her a bump of serotonin, I guess. So if you hear background noise, don't worry about it, she's having fun. So for context, 5 months ago, Nick Nobody made a YouTube video about me and Underflow. Mostly about Underflow because it was titled Underflow's Discord situation or whatever. Discord disaster, sorry. I have the video pulled up on my phone right now. Anyways, this is all in context of Underflow asked me to help him make a Discord server. So I helped him. Easy, simple as that. Right? Wrong. Actually, nobody expected more than 500 people to pop up in under 10 hours. That was bonkers. Anyways, I'll give you my sources. I'll cite my sources to the best of my ability because since the server was deleted, I have no screenshots. I might have a few. I'll dig around for them. I'll find them if I can find them, but I would like to offer my side of the story as opposed to just being absolutely fucking obliterated in the comments of my videos, Nick's video, and Underflow's channel also. Also, I would like to add in, I was very specifically told not to make a video, not to make any comments about this until Underflow himself made a video, but personally I am tired of receiving hate comments without an ounce of, the second side of the story, or the third, or however many people have their own side of the story, because all everyone has right now is Nick's side of the story, which, that's one person. Great, I'm glad you have something, some nugget of information, but it's not all what it seems. So I'll try my best to, put up any ounce of context that I have. If I have screenshots, cool, I'll put those up. If I don't, I'll just try my best to, speak about it, because I know after the server got taken down, me and the other 12 moderators did talk quite a bit about what we thought happened, or possible reasons why things worked out the way they did, why the server got taken down. So, I will try my best, and I apologize if this isn't a great video, it's just, I want to put my side out there, basically. The first segment of this video is the beginning of the end. So this is the message that Nick Nobody sent to Underflow in the Discord server. It says, "Yo, at Underflow, while I see you in general, please take time to read this. You need to really think about allowing minors and adults inside your server. As someone who covers pedophiles and groomers, you should know very well facilitating an environment where children can be contacted by adults is not good. The server has been open for less than 24 hours, and I've already seen some inappropriate messages and conversations shared between adults and minors. You have minors posting selfies of themselves in your pictures channel. Your moderation here is very, very lax, and one of them is a minor, LOL. If you would like to see more, please DM me. Please don't take this the wrong way, this is creator-to-creator advice." So this message is kind of what started the downfall of the server, because very quickly after this, Nick left the server. I know in his video he says that he was banned, but I don't have any information on that. I asked the other moderators, I asked Underflow, I asked everyone that I could ask to see if somebody had banned him. Nobody is fessing up to it if they did, but I had a few people commenting, sending me DMs or text messages after his video came out, saying that they think he took a copy of a Google photo or picture off of Google Images with the banned message saying that he was banned from a server, but to my knowledge, nobody banned him. I would like to assume that he probably tried to join back after the server was already down, and maybe that's why, but otherwise I have no information on that one. But he does say after this message he got kicked out. So I'm sorry if somebody did ban you. I didn't do it. I was at work when everything was unfolding, it was not great at all, but I did try to get to the bottom of that to see if somebody did ban you. So I apologize again. This is chapter 2, just information about what was said in the video. Now getting into the juicy stuff. Delicious. So next part of his video, he talks about the self-identification of the server. The age rules, under 18, over 18, self-explanatory. We want to know how old you are so we know how to properly moderate the channels. Make sure you're not seeing NSFW stuff, even though there's a rule against it, so we made sure to get rid of that anytime it potentially could have popped up. That includes gore, by the way. Most of the pictures that were sent that had to be removed were gore, not actual, pornography. So I would like to put that out there. And also, the gender identity role, that's not for searching what kind of friends you're looking for. That's me saying, are you a female friend, are you a male friend, or are you an other friend? Because everybody should be friendly with one another. We're not trying to have people, searching for members of the opposite sex trying to e-date. That's not okay. That was never the goal. This was just solely for identifying yourself. And I do have... I wouldn't say it's an issue, but I understand where he's coming from in his video. He says that the server should have been 18 plus only. I kind of personally disagree with that, just because Discord's terms of service say 13 plus is good to go. You're allowed to be on Discord as long as you're over the age of 13. And in my head, when I think of an 18 plus only server, I immediately think of e-dating, NSFW, that type of thing. So that wasn't the goal. We didn't want e-dating. We didn't want NSFW. We just wanted a community where people could come together, talk about, a YouTuber that they enjoy, give suggestions about videos that could be made next, other YouTube channels that they like, that type of thing. It was never, ever, ever meant to be any of the weird things that you are kind of implying in your video. And I apologize if that comes off as accusatory. I'm not trying to accuse you of anything. You did say at the beginning of your video you're not trying to paint Underflow in a negative light, which was appreciated, but all of the comments that are painting him in a negative light that you're interacting with and not interacting with the ones where it's like, oh, he made a mistake, you should maybe give him another chance, that's just... it doesn't seem like good business to me. You should be willing to look at both sides and understand where we're coming from and maybe look at a different perspective, which is what I'm doing by going through and watching your video a second time and kind of responding to it on my own video, I guess. So I'm not trying to accuse you of anything, assuming you're watching this video, which you're probably not. I want to clear the air and not sweep this under the rug as I have been accused of doing for so many months now. So we're at the 4.5-ish minute mark of Nick's video as I'm watching it back and trying to respond to everything in order. It's not really super in order. I'm just going through watching and reporting back. So I'm brought up a lot here. He said at some point, how many times do you have to say this before you realize you have a problem? I didn't think it was a problem because we had the moderation team and myself there actively, and it was the first day that the server was open where people were trying to push the boundaries and see what would happen, and they were being reprimanded for it. So I think it's just a given. Whenever you first start something, people are going to want to test the waters. And I thought we were doing okay in terms of moderating, but I know in your opinion, unacceptable. So we did what we could. The server is gone now, so there's nothing to moderate. Also, a little tiny sidebar here. There was a message about fuck beauty standards, and it was very silly goofy that you thought that was inappropriate to send to anybody in that server, because if you think about it, any young teenager in that server would have probably been thinking about themselves. I know during puberty I was a mess, okay? Beauty standards were kicking my ass. So that was mostly just meant to be a nice, oh, don't worry what anyone thinks about you type thing, not meant to be weird and creepy how you perceived it. So sorry about that also. I know it wasn't from me or anything, so I can't give you the full rundown of why it was said, but it wasn't meant to be creepy. It was just meant to be positive. Next thing, somebody said that their parents didn't want them on Discord and that we should have done the responsible thing and banned them. I don't think that people realize as much as they should that, yes, we can ban them, but chances are they'll just come back on an alternate account and they'll be more committed to their act that they are older than they actually are. So I understand, it seems like a great idea, but in actuality, it doesn't quite work the way you want it to. And the pee panty thing, I can't believe that this is something that's coming up in a video, but I think that most of us were viewing that as a joke, because kids can be edgy, and, like, they want attention, they're gonna say and do weird things, and yes, we did end up banning that girl, but, you know, it was definitely in poor taste to continue joking around about it, and I understand definitely does not leave any of us in, like, a positive light. That was definitely not a good thing. Definitely was a bad choice on all of our parts. Not great. Next part of his video, the mod situation. I don't know if he knows this, but whenever people are set to invisible, they don't pop up in the list of, like, whatever role it is. So him saying that we had 2 mods and 2 trial mods, false. Absolutely 100% false. We had 5, like, mods just by themselves, mods, and then 6 trial mods. So that's what, 9, 11. Yeah, that's 11 people, and then there was also me, so that bumps it up to 12. So, just putting that out there, most of us are set to invisible like 90% of the time on Discord, just because we don't want other people bothering us. Chances are we are online, but just on invisible mode, which, you know, it happens. So, don't say that there were only 2 and 2. There were 11. Sorry, that was bad. It was kind of cringy. So, but yeah, we had quite a few mods. And here's a tricky one to navigate, the moderator who was underage. Okay, here's how I'm gonna lay it out so you understand my thought process. In my eyes, her being 16, she's old enough to go and have a job. I was like, okay. Anyone under 16, immediately I was like, no, we're not doing that. She was 16, she had experience moderating other servers, she had experience setting up servers before as well, and she was in a different time zone than we were. All of these seem like great things, so I wasn't going to just discount her because she was a certain age, so that's why we stuck her in as a moderator. That is the sole reason. She seemed qualified, different time zone, that was it. And yes, I did have a lot to do with the server being created. Underflow had never used Discord before. It was his request for me to make a server for him. I did it, okay? Simple as that. I made the server for him. I was copying the messages he was sending in, like, the private mod channel and putting them in announcements for him. I was kind of the messenger of a situation, basically. And yes, I do make YouTube videos. Hello. Thank you for coming here and watching this. I understand it's probably not the kind of video you were expecting, because I'm basically just here defending myself, and that's not what I want to have to do, but it is inevitable. And I'm only really bringing up the messenger thing because one of the comments that Nick received was, Chris the Kraken, in my server, --babypine. That was one of the loudest parts of this video. I think she is just responsible, no, he is just as responsible as her, but it's obvious who is running the show. Banning the concerned adults for voicing their problems with the obviously dangerous behavior between adults and kids is fucking wild. It was incredibly disappointing. I banned 2 children. I didn't ban any adults. I was at work whenever everything was going down, when people were starting to get banned. I only got, like, a text message after it started that hundreds of people had been banned from the server already. So, sorry, hate to break it to you, but I was not in charge of, like, crazy banning people. I wasn't the one shutting shit down. I was just relaying the message, hey, we're gonna do ID verification. Why? I feel like that was not the right choice, also, by the way, but that's just me, not how I would have run things. And yes, I did make a video on White Bowser at one point. He actually commented on my video. That was a weird situation. And Underflow 2 made a video on White Bowser per my request. Anyways, yes, everyone and their mom has made a video on this man. And yes, I understand where you're coming from. Oh, you would think that you would learn from the same mistakes. Yeah, the difference is we're not having NSFW movie nights with minors, and we're not grooming minors. And I understand, I did see one comment that said something along the lines of the moderation team was grooming minors. I never DM'd any minors. Underflow doesn't know how to use the DM, so he couldn't have DM'd any minors. The other staff members were busy with their own lives, so they probably didn't DM any minors either. And that's just me stating this at face value. You assume the worst in people, and I understand that. It's good to be safe, be wary of people, but I like to look at it from the opposite direction. I assume everyone is inherently good, which is a problem, and that's why I make these kind of videos, so that I can say, oh, actually, people are terrible. So, nobody was being groomed to my knowledge, or to Underflow's knowledge, and if they were, we would have reported them. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children even has a great cyber tip line. I know that they look into and investigate the cyber tips. People use that all the time whenever they're reporting people on like Discord or Twitter who might be exploiting children. So it definitely would have been brought to their attention if I personally saw anything that was, questionable, like child exploitation to any degree, because that's unacceptable. Now I think we're actually at the point in the video where Nick sent his message and got banned. I still don't know who banned him. I talked about that right at the beginning of this video. I have no idea. I'm still at a loss for that one. But then the messages, like the announcement messages, and somebody asked what happened, and I had to make a post that said someone being Nick, said something about letting 13 to 18-year-olds in the server, so we're cutting out the middleman and just making it 18 plus. Still feel like that was a terrible judgment call as a whole to do it that way, because that wasn't even damage control. That was creating more damage to the entire server. At that point, I personally would have just shut it down, but I did not have that right, so couldn't have done anything about that. Anyways, yeah, Nick, you're not just some guy. I was at work. I couldn't say a whole awful lot. I was trying my best to keep up with everything, so I'm sorry I referred to you as just some guy. I know who you are, I promise. Also, me bringing up sending in copies of your photo ID or birth certificate or college ID, I was just kind of figuring that people would blur out their name, address, personal sensitive information, but like leave their birth date. Like, you cover your picture even, I don't care. I know that's also not a great way to do it, but again, that wasn't my call. I was not the one who was deciding what the next move was in that situation. And, you learn from your mistakes, and even Nick said it himself, he would have wiped the whole server and started new, which is what I personally also would have done, but Underflow had no experience. He had never been a part of a Discord, so you can't penalize him for that. He didn't know. Also, it gets to the point where he says something about us doxing our members. I don't know when someone would have been doxed. I didn't see any personal information being given out freely. Not to my knowledge, at least. And if it was probably deleted very swiftly and efficiently. And also, thank you for telling me that the moderation team was terrible. I know there were only like 12 of us, but we were trying our best. Nobody expected there to be like more than 300 people tops. So yes, that was just our own like downfall. That was our fault. Nobody expected it to go past 300 people. Understandable. Also, to the guy who spent $55 to boost the server, I am so sorry for you. Because I know that doesn't go to, like, the server owner or the admin or the moderators. It doesn't go to us at all. It goes directly to Discord. So I'm sorry that you lost your $55, and I hope that... I know it was probably a large quantity to you, because in my eyes, more than $25 is a lot, but I hope that it wasn't, like, something that destroyed your entire week. I know it was probably really disappointing for you to do that and then the server be taken down immediately, but I feel bad for you. I do really genuinely feel bad that you did that for basically nothing. Now, I have a lot of screenshots that are probably totally irrelevant to this entire situation, but I figure why not throw them in here now? So that's what we're gonna be looking at. So most of these images of screenshots that I have are from a server that was me and the moderation team. We were using this for like testing and training purposes. This was after the server got deleted, and you can read through the messages. Everyone was kind of upset at this point because it was the same day, just later. Because if I remember kind of correctly, around 9 or 10 a.m. is whenever the server got deleted. And these messages very clearly show 6:01 p.m., so it was easily later in the day. And we're continuing our Discord messages. These are the ones immediately following. Obviously it says it could have been salvaged, but it probably was not going to be. Nobody wanted little kids there, but everyone felt bad for the 16 and 17-year-olds getting stuck in the crossfire, and you can see I was upset. I was not handling this gracefully by any means. I was just seeing red. I was so angry, and yes, maybe that's not the best way to do anything, but this was my opinion at the time. Like, it should be a safe space, because I know kids are going to be on the internet regardless of if we tell them not to, but we were trying our best to moderate the server. Nobody really saw anything sexual, mostly slurs and off-the-wall insults. People were questioning if Nick was seeking out inappropriate messages before they got taken down. Diversity hire. That was the only male that we brought on as a moderator. He thinks that it should have been looked at from an outside perspective, and it is anxiety and stress-inducing, so he probably was having a difficult time thinking logically, but he immediately shut down opinions and went straight to banning people and having the other moderators banning the under 18s. And some of us were thinking 16 plus was a good age. The one girl thought maybe 14 to 15, but that was pushing it still. But we definitely probably could have salvaged this. A nifty little comment on Nick's video. Wouldn't be surprised if Baby Pine's name pops up in a future video. Seems like bad news. Sorry I seem like bad news to you. I try not to be, but I understand not everyone's gonna like me, and there are definitely people out there already who hate me just because of this situation. So I apologize. If you hate me, understandable. I can't control your actions or your thoughts, so maybe this will clear some stuff up, maybe it won't. Really depends. I think the next few are messages that are shared between my friends and me, obviously, but, you know, it was really hard because my friends were finding the video before I even knew it was uploaded, and hearing that from my friends, like, hey, what happened? Is this true? It did hurt a lot, and I tried to offer them a second side to the story, and they seemed very receptive of it. It seems like the things I was saying were making sense, even though I was probably still upset. But, you know, I have quite a few messages between people in my life who notified me that the video was made, and even Underflow himself sent me a message and was like, hey dude, hate to break it to you, but you're in this video. So it was difficult to experience, but this is just how it is. These were comments that were left on Underflow's most recent video. You disappoint me, just another one to add the list of generates. If you delete this comment, your PP is small and you like youngs. That's your wording, not mine. Yeah, so he was getting a lot of hate for this, and it was really difficult for me to look at, considering that he is someone I consider to be a friend, and there's still people leaving comments to this day, like, hey, what happened in that Discord? And I don't think he's deleting the comments, at least I would like to believe he's not, but you never know. I feel like they have to have some sort of automated bot system that's like, oh, if I see the same thing over and over and over again, I should get rid of it. But I don't know how YouTube functions to the full effect, honestly. Again, in one of the videos I made, what happened in that Discord? I don't delete my messages or anything unless it's one of those porn spam bots. Get rid of those real quick. I don't want people pressing on questionable links that will definitely give them a virus. But I won't delete any comments like this. You'll find a few of them scattered throughout my channel. They're there to stay unless the account gets deleted, I guess. I don't know. Do they keep YouTube comments up even if their account goes away? Beats me. But there was quite a few of those that happened. And here's another comment that was in Nick's video. Seeing more of what was in that chat, I think it really is inexcusable. He blatantly modded minors and allowed mods to groom children. It's sick. Again, none of the mods were grooming children. I am so tired of hearing that argument. It makes me sick to my stomach knowing that people genuinely believe that we were grooming people in there. That's not what the server was for at all. I understand the chats were, you know, kind of gross at some points, but more often than not, we were getting rid of them pretty efficiently when they were bad. Here's one that everyone of the little moderators kind of laughed at. So you're trying to get your competition cancelled because of Discord mod politics? Weak move. Change your inaccurate avatar to a soy boy with an estrogenic chin and a whimpering expression. The way that this was worded was absolutely hilarious, but also a lot of people probably do kind of feel this way after, you know, all that's happened in the past few months. And here's a message from Smokey from Smokey MCC, Smokey McC, I don't know. Me and Kiwi want to offer you a chance to tell people your side of the story, all that good stuff, not a ploy to mess with you, blah blah blah. You know, this is... After seeing some of the stuff they've done to the lol cows, it made me feel kind of like, oh, that's not going to be good. Because they do tend to tease and taunt them in their live streams, and that does bother me. It seems inhumane. Here's one that's kind of long. It says, "This is pretty hypocritical coming from a creator with a Discord server. There is no way to enforce an 18+ server. Kids always lie, and honestly, your server is probably filled with minors that you think are of age. There is no way to enforce an age restriction on Discord. I think Underflow's mods did not have malicious intentions with the age rules. I'm sure they thought if they just make people transparent about their age, they can moderate the content to fit that. Like Underflow said, I don't think he was prepared for the amount of users, and he did not hire enough mods because of that. So it turned into a shit show. The people calling him a creep are cringe. This was nothing more than poor management and ignorance, and a mistake he can learn from. I don't think he should have banned people or deleted comments, but honestly, maybe he was just really overwhelmed and didn't know how to handle the situation. I still want him to address the situation, but at the end of the day, he deleted the server, and to me that's all that matters. Having no server at all is a lot safer than the server you have, where you just trust people are 18+, by the way. Smile winky face. This was whenever the server was going. It was me and Underflow talking, we were discussing something else, and he said good at some point for something totally unrelated. He comes back, Pine, maybe we should just delete and try again a different time. If you're feeling that, be my guest. Click server name, and towards the bottom you can press delete server. Does that full delete everything and everyone off? It does, the whole thing goes away. Could you just do it, or do I have to? You have to do it, I don't have that permission. Okay. Make sure to let them know it's getting nuked and we'll start fresh later. Can you announce it for me? I'm busy right now. Just say that it's complicated and it will be done again some other time. I feel like this message is very important. Very, very important for a plethora of reasons. Especially the reason of clearly we were all underprepared and that was just the best course of action, and even Underflow recognized it himself, even with no prior knowledge of Discord. Okay, everybody, I'm back. It's tomorrow now. I finished making this video at like 12:30 in the morning, but now it is 7:30 at night, and I figured maybe I should go through and watch that again. I didn't change any of like the meaty stuff, but I am changing the outro because you could tell I was absolutely exhausted and I looked kind of crunchy. My hair was unwashed and gross. Anyways, this was the video. This is it. I just want to lay everything out like an open book. so that you have two sides to a story opposed to just one, and maybe it will clear some stuff up, maybe it won't. It really depends on how receptive you are with this information that I'm giving you. If you still decide you hate me, cool, whatever. If you have questions, ask them in the comments. I'll answer them. I'm not gonna try to be like, ooh, I made the video, I'm done, because, you know, you can't be done whenever you're a part of something like this. And I know this is like long overdue. I had a few people tell me that they hate me and that I should kill myself and that I should have answered this earlier and thought for myself, but I just don't know when Underflow is coming back online or if he is. And personally, I just feel like it was definitely time to at least say something. Literally anything. So that's why I've created this. And I'll be the first to say, I don't have any ill will towards Nick, no hate for him, nothing. I watch his videos. I haven't watched the recent ones because they're a little bit long for my liking. I usually get distracted by the 15-minute mark and I'm like, next thing. But he didn't do anything wrong in this situation. He saw this as an opportunity to create content and make a profit. Any other commentary YouTuber probably would have done the same. So there's nothing wrong with that. He just did what had to be done, and I honestly can't blame him for it. But I do want this to be like an opportunity for people to ask questions and discuss whatever they may be thinking. And maybe, I don't know how much this has cleared things up for anybody, but I'm willing to answer the questions in the comments, or if you send me a DM on Instagram, it's also Baby Pine, like, I can get back to you. And as for the screenshots that were put into this video, those are just the ones that I have on my computer here. I might have more on my phone. If I do, I'll probably end up sharing them at some time or another, but for now, this is just what I have readily available for me. And another thing is, I do not dislike Underflow. I don't hate Underflow. I'm not mad at him for any reason at all. This was his first time dealing with a large drama, and that's okay. He didn't know how to respond to it. He panicked, I guess, and just kind of shut down. But, you know, I feel like most people aren't equipped to deal with big types of drama like this. Because, let's be real, most people will never go through something like this in their lifetime. So, him handling it poorly, whatever, it happens. Chances are, the people that have to deal with this frequently are probably, yes, a little problematic, but they at least have some form of grasp on what to do, how to respond. He didn't have anything. He was 18 with this YouTube following and tried to do something good for his audience, and it did not work out the way he expected, which is understandable. So there is no ill will at all towards Nick or to Underflow. I quite enjoy both of them, even though Nick probably absolutely hates me, but whatever, I'm still allowed to watch his content. And another thing I know I'm going to get interrogated about, what my relationship with Underflow was. We were never romantically involved with one another, we were just friends. Like, I understand how that could be like, ooh, a male and a female being friends on the internet, ooh, there must be something happening between them. I can assure you there wasn't. We were just buddies, and if you're somebody who thinks that a male and female cannot just be friends, I'm sorry. I don't view it that way, and I don't think he does either. We were very clear, like, hey, I don't like you like that. Like, we're just here to spitball content ideas with each other, and that was pretty much exactly what happened until the Discord thing. And then it became, what the fuck do I do? And I tried to help him navigate it, but you can only do so much whenever you're trying to juggle like 10 things at once. Anyways, yeah, that's it. Ask me questions in the comments, I'll answer them. If I find more screenshots, I'll put them maybe in my community tab, or if there's more than I think in like a Google document and just like stick it in the description of the video, I guess. Doesn't hurt. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching, and I'm sorry if you still hate me, but it was nice to see you while you were around.